If a man gets asked for a paternity test and that child is not his, which, by the way, 30% of the time it isn't, if that man can prove infidelity, which means you cheated, you may owe the entirety of all that child support back. And if you cannot pay it back, you are going straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Ladies are now being held accountable for their actions. I feel like the female kind is going to absolutely despise this. The male kind is going to absolutely love this. By the way, this has already been held against men, so don't even try to play that.
What he is talking about is House Resolution 2689 out of the state of Tennessee. It's going to get to a point that more states are going to adopt this. More importantly, for couples to get married, a paternity test will have to be done to determine whether or not if the man is the child's father. In turn, it will also make it a criminal penalty against a woman if it's determined that child is not that man's child. You see, states are going to start adopting this. Sometime back I said the corner is turning, the tide is turning finally. Men are starting to get rights back. See, that's the bigger issue in all this. For a long time, men have lost rights. This is the latest blow to the feminist efforts. Here in a little bit, you're going to hear a couple of feminists who claim it's no big deal that the system, the patriarchy, whatever you want to call them, has blown this out of proportion. No. 40%. That number's increased. They would say, 30% is no big deal. Yeah, it was 30%. It's now 40%. How many cases of either divorce court or paternity court have been aired in which the custody of a child has been at stake? Worse, if that child belongs to the father. Even Maury is putting it out. This has become a problem. And if these women cannot learn to be honest with their mates, let alone the system, then yes, it's justifiable they need to be punished, because this alone takes a damning toll on the man, knowing that may not be his child. This is a sick revelation that feminists are in blatant denial. Well, I got news for you. I give it 3 more months. A lot more stuff involving feminine rights are about to come full circle. Telling you now.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid.
What?
I don't think that, it's something that if you feel like you need a DNA test, go do that on your own time.
Hell no. To the no.
Because you feel that way. I don't think every person, there's millions of people in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like,
Oh, come on now, dog.
you could be saving a life. You could be in a hospital saving a life.
Come on, man.
I personally pay taxes, and I care about where my money goes.
You're a damn liar, man.
I'm not here to pay for so-and-so because there's a confusion about who's the father. That's not my business.
What?
And for me, I want to fund schools. I want to fund the MTA because the trains are never on time. We got bigger problems. We have bigger problems. I'm sorry. I'm not paying for no mandatory test.
That's not true.
I don't think there's any issue with a man taking care of another man's child.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Women do it all the time, whether you know or not. He might bring another child and say, oh, I had this out of our wedlock, what are we gonna do? Or he's taking your money and paying child support to another family. You had no idea. So when we're just like jumping like, oh, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. Hold on, it's already being done.
Yeah, you're right. Tennessee law is about to be done too. What the hell are you gonna do about it? You feminists who think this is not a good idea, it's too late. It is all too late. You should have thought about this before planning your nice little nefarious maneuvers against the man. You're making the man do everything. No. The tide is turning. What part of that do you not understand? All these politicians who praise equality for women, ain't no damn equality. It's for them to make sure they get money regardless of how much of a deadbeat loser they may be. And I'm referring to the women that choose not to help their mate, choose not to work, choose not to take responsibility for the actions that they have put on themselves that affects others, affects the child, affects the man who you claim is the father. When he goes to check and finds that he's not, that's a problem. And when you have states that don't want to enforce these laws, when things like that go sideways, that also is a problem. But the tide is turning. Tennessee may have started something here. To you feminists that support the idea that we shouldn't have maternity fraud checks, there's the damn door. Your opinion doesn't matter. Truth hurts. Get over it.